Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, can I have a show of hands? How many coffee drinkers do we have in the house? All of you except for my partner over there, I see. Yeah. Well, I too am a coffee drinker. However, I did not come to coffee until quite late. You see, my mother is from the United Kingdom, where tea is the end all be all drink, good for any occasions, happy occasions, sad occasions, morning, noon, and night. It is always that cup of tea. So you see, there was no room for coffee in our house. Now, sure, I had tasted it a little bit here and there and found it to be bitter and nasty tasting, and so I had no interest. However, that all changed when I went back to school as an older adult. Going nights and weekends was fatiguing, and to top it off, I had two small children at home, and I quickly learned that I could not do the homework at home. So I decided I would try Barnes & Noble, where I learned all the other parents who were going back to school were hanging out as well. So I got there, I put my book bag down, and quickly realized that I should probably order something if I am going to use the table space. I think, well, what do I want? Well, I have about 2 or 3 hours worth of homework in front of me, and I'm pretty tired. So maybe I want coffee. Yes, I want coffee, but not that bitter, nasty tasting stuff. I want one of those fancy, hopefully better tasting drinks. So I go to get in line, but as I look up at the board, I begin to feel a little bit of panic, because as I look at the board, I see that there are words written up there, and I don't know what any one of them means. And listening to the people in line in front of me did not help a bit. One person says, "I'll have a tall, flat white." What the heck is a tall, flat white? My heart's pounding a little bit now. The next person says, "I'll have a grande mocha frappuccino, hold the whip." Well, by this time, my heart is going like this, because I realize at my age, I don't know how to order coffee, but I'm in line to order coffee. And in my panic, I begin to think, well, maybe I will grab a bottle of water, or maybe I'll get an iced tea, something that I know how to do. But that's not really what I wanted. I wanted to do something new. Now, fortunately, in the middle of Barnes & Noble, in the middle of my mini panic attack that I'm having, fortunately, I had a moment of clarity. I had what we call an aha moment. I suddenly realized, wait a minute, I have a choice. I can choose to give into the fear of looking foolish, of not knowing what I'm doing, or I can step into the fear and do it anyway. And if I can't even step into the fear to order a simple cup of coffee, how am I ever going to be able to step into the fear to make the big changes that I want and need in my life? So I took a deep breath, I took a step forward, and I said to the barista, "I've never ordered coffee before. Can you help me?" And you know what happened? She got this big smile on her face, because you see, for a moment, she was more than a barista. She was a teacher sharing her knowledge with me. And boy, did I have a lot to learn. I said to the barista, "I think I'd like a medium." She says, "Oh, honey, you mean you want a grande?" Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to order the cup size, much less what I'm going to put inside of it. Well, fortunately, she was there as my teacher. She walked me through it, and as I stepped away from the counter, she had a huge smile on her face, and I sat down, thoroughly enjoyed my first latte, while reveling in my, albeit small, success. Now, I learned several things that day. One is you don't really need to worry so much about what other people are thinking about you, that you're going to make a fool out of yourself. Because the secret is they are so busy worried about what's happening in their life, we're not really that important to them. Another thing, and this is important, there are people out there who are willing and able to help us along the way. All we have to do is ask. Let them know what we need and accept their help. And the biggest thing I learned is this. Being able to step into the fear to make the big changes we want in life, that takes practice. Fortunately, each and every one of us has an opportunity every single day to practice doing things outside of our comfort zone, things that will improve us. All we have to do is take that step. And the more we are willing to do this, the more comfortable we become in risking just a little bit of vulnerability for the gains of personal growth. And as for me, every time I go to Starbucks and I see their unique logo with the mermaid has two tails. And it reminds me that day I had two choices. A choice to give into the fear or to step into the fear and do it anyway. And I did. And we have that choice each and every day. That, Mr. Contest Chair, is what I learned from ordering coffee. Thank you.